Hello and welcome in section 5, Advanced Natural Language Processing Problems. And in this video, our challenge is to choose the deep learning algorithm and dataset for language translation. So pause the video now and try to solve this problem, and in a moment I'll go through a proposed solution. Okay, welcome back, and let's have a look at the solution. So one of the first things that you have to realize is that what kind of problem the language translation is really from the point of view of deep learning and machine learning in general. And we often refer this kind of problem as sequence-to-sequence learning. This is because we are trying to translate one sequence from one domain, one language, to the other domain, other language. And the main challenge here is that we have different lengths of the data on one side and the other side, right? So we have basically different inputs and outputs, and we have to use a method that will allow us to do that and translate between those two data sets. And there are two common groups of deep learning algorithms that are often used in language translation, and those are one-dimensional convolutional neural networks, and as you've seen in previous challenges, and we've used one-dimensional convolutional neural networks with word embeddings for classification problems, and they can be used for language translation. And there are also recurrent neural networks which are quite popular right now. And within those recurrent neural networks, we have two choices that are also quite popular, which is long short-term memory networks and also the GRU networks. And GRUs are really a simplified version of LSTMs. You can think about them in that way. And in this particular solution, we've chosen to use the long-short networks. They are quite popular right now, and I also get a really nice results with those networks. So what about the language translation dataset? So you have to choose the right dataset for language translation, and of course you have to, like with most machine learning challenges, you have to often test the different options, but there are some helpful assumptions that are very useful when you want to pick up the right dataset. So one of the first assumptions, really very obvious, but when you don't realize it, it might be a bit confusing, that we can work with just one pair of languages at the time. So one pair of languages at the time, we can train models at least on this level, just training the mapping between two languages. Then we need to have enough pairs of those languages, and often that means there have to be quite a lot of them, but each pair has relatively short. And this assumption or this intuition comes from experience, and we will choose the around 10,000 Spanish-English pairs from Anki dataset. And I found that when you train on those 10,000 samples, you can get a pretty nice results. Those are pretty short phrases, so most models will work well on those short sequences. So as you can see, a lot of this is about experimenting, looking at different examples of machine learning algorithms and how they perform.